Yeah. Another question for you, do you like to dance? Because some people don't like to dance, which is cool, but I think it's always a good thing to experience or to try. You don't have to be the craziest dancer, or you might not even dance in a club or somewhere, but maybe try it even at home. Maybe you don't like it, but after a while you get into it, because it's a cool feeling to get into the groove with your music, and you can decide better, is that a track which could move other people, or you could get a better feeling for how long should this part be, and when should it change, because when you dance, it's different. When I'm sitting here, I'm thinking like, okay, 16 parts of kick, and then 16 parts of hi-hat, and then bars, I mean, and then yeah, that should be okay. This is a nice transition. But when I'm dancing, it's totally different. I'm just feeling like, and then, hey, why did I break down, or why did I stop the hi-hat? Shit, it should be longer. But I only notice it when I danced. So yeah, just give it a try. Maybe most of you dance anyway, so that's not a problem. But it's good to know how it feels for dancers. You could also talk to other people or let them dance to your music, or just play live and see how they react, and then you get a different feeling. Whatever. But yeah, dancing is always good. Healing, very good feeling. So please try it. Also at home, doesn't matter. It's not like in the club, but just a little bit of moving. It's like singing. You might not be a good singer, but if you sing the stupidest song, it could also be a child song, for a song for children, like a lullaby or whatever. If you sing it, you might feel stupid first, but if you sing it for a minute, you will feel better after it, because your breath and everything gets flowing. And it's the same with dancing. If you just do it, maybe just dance like, okay, I can't dance, but I do this, or just shake, shaking really good, to make everything a bit easy, a bit, how do you say, flowing, You don't need to be the best dancer, just let everything a bit flow. You can just stand here and do this. This will also help you. Yeah, okay, I'm not a life coach, but I think dancing is really very important medicine also, and can help you heal from whatever. Yeah, dancing. Yeah, another part why I don't play live too much anymore, especially techno clubs, is the drugs. I mean, drugs is always related, or how do you say, connected to techno music. It doesn't have to be. I mean, you don't have to do drugs to enjoy techno music. You don't have to do drugs to make techno music or to understand it. But it's always connected to it, especially if you play live, because you will play in a club or wherever, and most of the people will be on drugs. And alcohol is a drug too, but it's a bit different. I played shows with hip-hop bands and other bands, and most of the time people were drinking and maybe smoking joints. But it's different than being on other drugs. I mean, yeah, it's kind of the same, but also, especially with techno, what I want to say is you have to know that you're playing for people on drugs if you play techno live. Most of the time, not every time. And you have to know that you're working, if you do that as a work, or that you're playing, or the stuff that you make, the music, that you do that at a place where drugs are a big part of the whole atmosphere. And that's not a big problem, but it's a thing to think about. So if you don't like that stuff, then maybe that's not the right thing to do for you. And I mean, I stopped doing drugs. I might do it for a special occasion maybe, but yeah, it was just too much sometimes, or I learned that I can enjoy myself without drugs too. I mean, I still eat sugar. This is a crazy drug, the craziest drug out there probably. So I'm not drug free, but yeah, I'm just over this phase where I was taking stuff now and then for a party. And yeah, what you notice in the club is it's a great atmosphere if the party is good, but there's also the other side, which might be, okay, I have to go to the toilet. It takes half an hour because all the toilets are full with people who take lines, you know, or do whatever. Or you want to enjoy, you dance, and there's a group of 5 people around you, you talk the whole time, because some of these drugs make you talk. And I have nothing against talking and communicating, but on the dance floor it's sometimes too much. It's like, man, please go to the other side. And I'm not hating, and especially in the clubs, I won't be the guy who say, hey, please go over there, because no, that's also not cool. But yeah, that's just too much for me sometimes. Like, I can go into my own mindset and enjoy the music still, but if people are constantly talking about shit, it's hard to block it out. And what I really like about techno music and experience it live is the spiritual gathering type of thing. And that's kind of hard to get for me, because yeah, it's all this drug atmosphere. That's what I call it, you know. Okay, let's go to the other floor. Yeah, let's go to the other floor. Hey, I'm something to drink. Oh, ha, 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 ha. And this is really cool, and that's probably how techno parties are. But I always loved it if the crowd was a bit more spiritual or a bit more settled or whatever. Maybe I'm just too old, and yeah. But that's the thing to have in mind. You're playing in an atmosphere where drugs are around. Yeah, not really a problem. If you never took drugs, then good, no problem. But you have to know that it's a little bit different for the people to perceive your music. I mean, good music, great music will move everybody, no matter if you're on drugs or not. But people who are on drugs, on special techno drugs, get moved by a kick drum already, which is a good thing. But yeah, you have to keep in mind that they can listen to the stuff that you listen way longer, because it's not that boring for them, because all these little frequencies or big frequencies, they are already doing so much to their bodies that they don't need anymore. And sometimes it can be even too much if you give them too much input, you know. If you hit them with all these kinds of breaks all the time, I mean, it depends. It always depends on which style of techno or which style of music. But yeah, it's just a different feeling for them. As I said, the good thing is if you play great music, then they will love it, and even more than people that are not on drugs, maybe. But that's a cool thing. And yeah, maybe talk to people who do or did drugs, or show them your music. Even if they're not on drugs, they might have a feeling for how long the part should be, because my experiences are that I always play too much, or I do too much on stage, because I think, okay, I'm standing here, I should do something, right? No, you don't need to do anything. I mean, it's cool to groove or enjoy this, because everybody sees or feels when you're enjoying it, and all the people, even the people who are not dancing in the back, they also enjoy it more if you seemingly enjoy it on stage. So don't do nothing, but you don't have to be on the faders, on the knobs the whole time. Yeah, and you have to learn this when you play live, but most of the time you think, okay, I should do something. But yeah, most of the time you do too much, especially if you're playing techno live, I think. One thing which you should keep in mind is don't write down too much, I think. Maybe you can do it like that, but for me it was too much, because it's the same with doing too much. It's like, okay, I have to hit the pattern 2 and then the filter here and then this and this. And while you're doing it, you look like a crazy technician. And it doesn't matter how you look too much, but if you're dancing, then you think like, oh, this guy, he's just out of his mind and doing technique stuff. And you don't seem like like somebody who enjoys the music. You just seem like somebody who's working, and you're also not really feeling it. You are not really in the moment. You are like here on your sheet of paper. Okay, you are a few seconds in the future, I think, because you think, okay, in 4 bars I have to do this, okay, and then I have to do this. So you're never in the moment if you do this. Maybe there's only a few parts where you have to look at the sheet of paper. That's okay, and it's a different thing. But if you have to remind yourself the whole time during the set what you want to do next, then yeah, you're not really in the moment, as I said. And maybe that's cool for you, but that's not what I enjoyed. And sometimes after a set I thought, yeah, people liked it, they loved it, but I wasn't enjoying it too much, because I was doing stuff all the time and thinking about what I should do, and not really felt my own frequencies that I created too much, because I was so much in my head. Yeah, I got better with this, but it's still a struggle, because yeah, you have to get used to it. Somebody said to me back in the days, when you're a DJ, you just have to learn how to chill, even if you're on stage. And I think that's true, especially with techno music. You have to learn how to chill on stage, just chill. Also with these instruments, I think, because the music, if you want to get into a trance-like state, it's important that it doesn't change too much, or that it has this flow. And yeah, when I want to play live, or when I play live, I want to feel it, or I want to be part of all the people or the whole vibe. And what I noticed, that's why I also don't play live too much anymore, is I enjoy it more to dance than to be on stage, because then I can just let go and feel all the music, just listen to it. And when I'm on stage, I'm thinking way more, and it's always a little bit more work. But these moments where you are like, damn, I just did this, and I'm doing this sound right now, and now I'm going to hit them with these are magical, and that's why I still do it. And yeah, so these are all thoughts and opinions about it that shouldn't keep you from doing it. Please do it. These are just my little things that I don't like or that I noticed. Yeah, all in all, it's still great. It's still great to see people moving, to see people enjoy and party and celebrate. And I think it's also, what you do is not only, okay, I'm this techno producer and I play live. No, if you really play live and you know what you're doing and you get a response, then it's really like you are a healer. You know, you heal people with music. Maybe you don't heal every person in the room, but you might heal a few. They might get into a good feeling for a few moments, and maybe their day was miserable, but you make them feel better. And I know for me it was always like that when I was dancing or at parties. It was something which lasted. If I was on drugs, okay, next day wasn't that cool, but otherwise you really take something with you. And I think it's more than just, okay, I play live and I press these buttons. No, it's really, you share all the frequencies, all these waves, you share that with the people. And you are the one who decides what kind of frequencies at which time, you know. So yeah, this is a bit spiritual, and but this is the shit which still gets me moving or going and doing all that stuff. Same with making music or just sharing my music. But playing music live, yeah, that's also part of it. Sharing your feelings, your emotions with the people, and that's a great thing. And that's why I think if you want to, then please play live and make your own experiences. Okay, I will take out my Digitakt and just jam a little bit. Maybe you can see something, get inspired. And next video I will tell you maybe about transitions or something. A little bit more about how I'm playing live when I play techno. Yeah, peace. So I'm going to show you some more stuff that I do with the Digitakt. I'm starting with the bass line. Using the filter envelope to give it more snap. Typical 4 to the floor this time, because why not? Of course you can play a whole set with 4 to the floor, people will love it, but if you switch it up a little bit, people will love it probably a bit more, maybe not, but I always love it if the kick gets a little bit switched up sometimes, or even the whole time. But 4 to the floor is always a safe point to start or to end or whatever. So this is a long bass and I want to use a little bit of LFO movement, LFO filter movement. Here I also like to use times that are not on beat all the time. Yeah, because it's more interesting over more bars, you know. Adding some delay to the bass. If you cut the lows from the delay, then it's more problem to use it on bass, I think. It's actually pretty cool. noticed with claps, it's really important how long they are. I mean, you can use a long clap or really short one, but the stuff in between makes really a difference. If it's a little bit too long, it sounds like not really on point. Here I do some different clap sounds, like record some shorter ones and some variations, and here I'm adding the reverb to some of the steps. Now I'm only using one step and the other gets a little delay, I think. Adding a hi-hat, and this time I think I will use a normal hi-hat sound, LFO panning and tuning on there, but I erased it. And playing around with the sample length. Here I'm adding some retricks. You have to try it. Some retricks on some steps sound really cheesy or not really groovy, so you have to try it. You can just add some retrick, and if it doesn't sound good, then just erase it again. Try it on a different step. Of chords or a pad sound, so I have to erase a sample because my drive was already full. That's actually not the sound that I wanted to use. I just realized, and that's why if you play live, it's really important that you know somehow which samples you use or how you name it. It's hard to name it like very specific, so you know really fast what sound it is, but you can try, because then it saves you a lot of try and error live. And here, this is a problem. Blofeld 1 to 12 is the name of these sounds. Yeah, how should I know which one is which? After a while I know, yeah, Blofeld 8 is this nice pad sound, but yeah, you can forget that pretty easy. And as you can see, yeah, now I find something that I like more, but for live it's it's pretty nice to think a little bit how you name your samples before. And of course practice with these sounds. Because nothing is worse than being on stage and searching a sound and always getting the wrong one. Sometimes I just used a different sound and made the best of it, but if you have a specific sound in mind and you want to put it in the track, then it's nice if you can find it really easy. So here I'm trying to pitch the pad sound. This is also the thing, pitching pad sounds or melodic sounds live is not really easy, because sometimes you can't hear it and you have to make it loud enough so you can hear it, but then the people are already hearing it. So if it's wrong, it's a bit complicated, then you have to react fast. As I said before, a few wrong notes are not a problem, but you have to find the right notes kind of fast to make it okay. And that's why I would love to have something like a headphone mix function, where you could say, okay, track 2 just goes to the headphones output of the Digitakt, so you could listen before you mix it to the whole master out, like a DJ mixer, but sadly that's not possible. So yeah, I have to go by ears and react really fast. And that's actually why not that many people improvise melodic stuff live, because it's not so easy to do. But I do it anyway because so many happy accidents happen. And no risk, no fun, right? I hate the feeling when I don't do cool stuff live, but I love the feeling when I do cool stuff accidentally or improvised really fast. And yeah, the more you practice, the less mistakes you do, or the more you know how to react to these mistakes. Here I'm adding delay to the pad, as you can hear. I love delays, and the delay of the Digitakt is pretty cool with the filter. You can do a lot with it. Of course you have to be careful with the feedback, because it goes up to 200, which is too much, I think, but yeah, you just have to know what to do. And here I'm playing around with the delay time because you can sculpt these crazy textures. And you think it's gone, but then it comes back. Yeah, this is just some crazy shit. And yeah, I think that's enough for now. Maybe you get inspired to try a lot of stuff with your Digitakt. Oh, with other boxes too. I mean, the Digitakt is not the only box that can do this stuff. Yeah!